At the end of this season, the Giants will be searching for a new manager, as the Bruce Bochy era in San Francisco will be coming to an end. Before that happens, I'd like to take a quick look back on Bochy's career so we can get a better understanding and appreciation for this future Hall of Famer. You'll be forgiven if you know nothing of Bruce Bochy the player. His 9 years as a backup catcher was quite forgettable. The highlight of his playing career was playing in the 1984 World Series with the Padres, but he was perhaps best known for getting plowed over at home plate by Pete Rose in the 1980 NLCS, sending the Phillies to the World Series, and eliminating Bochy's Astros. But it was as a manager that he really made a name for himself. He started by managing a couple minor league teams for the Padres, the last ball club he had played for. Having immediate success there, he was promoted to third base coach in San Diego under then-manager Jim Riggleman. The strike-shortened 1994 season was not a good one for the Padres, who finished with 47 wins and 70 losses, last in the NL West. Riggleman was fired after the season, and Bochy was promoted to manager. He was taking over for a team that had only reached the postseason once in its 37 years of existence. They were used to losing. Expectations were low. But, in his first season as manager, Bochy's Padres began a turnaround, finishing just 4 games under 500 in 1995. A year later, they reached the postseason for the first time in 12 years, winning the NL West title, earning Bochy the honor of National League Manager of the Year. 2 years after that, they reached the World Series. In 2005 and 2006, they made consecutive postseason appearances for the first and only time in club history. After the 2006 season, the Giants were looking for a new manager and were interested in Bochy. The Padres, in a move they probably regretted later, allowed him to walk out the door, thus ending the 12-year Bochy era in San Diego. He left the Padres with 951 wins, the most by any manager in franchise history. He took them to the postseason 4 times. Since his departure, the Padres have not made it back to the postseason. It would be understandable if he failed to top that success with his new team, and at first it looked like he wouldn't be able to. In 2007 and 2008, the Giants lost over 90 games. Heading into 2009, the final year of his initial contract, Bochy found himself on the hot seat. But after 88 wins and a second-place finish, he was awarded another contract. Then came the big year. In 2010, the Giants won 92 games, captured the NL West crown, beat the Braves and Phillies on their way to the World Series, where they beat the Rangers in 5 games. It was the first championship for the Giants since 1954, and their first ever since moving to San Francisco. After finishing second in their division and missing the postseason a year later, Bochy's Giants returned to the top of the standings in 2012. But this time, their march through the National League playoffs was a bit harder. They fell behind the Reds 2-0 in the division series before coming back to win the series 3-2. In the NLCS, they again found themselves in a deficit, this time down 3-1 against St. Louis. But for the second series in a row, the Giants stormed back with 3 straight wins, putting them back in the World Series. Only this time the Giants learned to take care of business early, and they swept the Tigers in 4 games to capture their second World Series title in 3 years. After a lousy season to follow that, the Giants in 2014 managed to sneak back into October by grabbing the second wild card. This time, as underdogs, they beat the Pirates, Nationals, and Cardinals before going a full 7 games in the World Series, topping the Royals to earn a 3rd championship. In 2016, they made 1 more postseason appearance, winning the wild card game but losing in the division series to the Cubs. 2 more losing seasons would follow, and prior to the 2019 season, Bochy announced that he would retire at the end of the season. He heads into his final season with 1,926 wins, ranking 11th on the all-time list and the most among active managers. He is the only manager to win 900 games with 2 different teams. He's the 10th manager to win 3 World Series titles. The other 9 are already in the Hall of Fame. His Giants team isn't expected to win anything this year, but his teams have surprised us before, and they may do it again. Let me know down in the comments what you think of Bruce Bochy, and if you have any idea who the Giants should hire as his replacement for next year. As always, this is Baseball International, and I'll see you in the next video.